What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 14 of the Eyes Wide Open podcast. As always, I'm your host, Kiah. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in with me for another fun week of content. Today, we're going to be talking about, are you a thermostat or are you a thermometer? How are your vibrations and energetic connections kicking off whenever you step into the room? So stick around because it's on the way. Cue the intro. Alrighty guys, welcome back. Do you guys like this intro and how it's coming in? Leave me some feedback on that. You know, I try to do something different, bring something new to the table a little bit. But let's get these handles and social medias out the way. If you would like to follow the podcast Instagram page, that is Eyes Wide Open Pod on Instagram, of course. If you would like to follow me personally on Instagram or Twitter, I am at Vonkiah on Instagram and at Vonkiah M on Twitter. I also got some services that you guys can check out. They are posted on my Instagram and my Twitter, linked down below as well for everything I offer. So if you're looking for some tarot services, birth chart readings, let your girl hook you up. I do energy shift readings as well as crystal recommendations. So I got some good services for everybody involved. Everything starts at $5. What can I say? I'm ready to rock and roll. Anyway, let's get into today's topic, which is, are you a thermostat or are you a thermometer? And shout out to my older brother, Cameron. I love you. We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago about being reactive in situations, and I was letting him know that that was something that I really worked on, not letting things really get to me and learning to keep my sanity and my peace and my energy no matter what other people's energy is. I did research. Obviously, when you start, well, for me, I start to realize certain things about myself, and then I'm the type of person that goes and like digs deep and research and understand all these different elements. It's just how I learn from self. But something that I had discovered a while back is that I'm an empath, and empaths can almost take on the energy of other people. So when people are sad, it's like we feel that very deeply and very heavily. When people are mad, we feel that very deeply and heavily. Almost can take the energy on as our own, even when we're not actually sad or mad. So I'm sorry, I got a little sniffles. I came out here to record and I don't know what happened. But anyway, whenever you are an empath, sometimes you have to watch for that because you will be taking on people's energy that really has nothing to do with you. People may come to you or they may just enter the room and you feel their energy so intently and you be like, why am I even mad? Why do I even have like a little funk about me now? So something that I started doing was a little self-check question, asking myself, is that me or is that them? And that's helped a ton in determining that whole thermostat versus thermometer question. So being a thermostat, obviously, thermostats have a temperature, right? They have a setup on the wall. And so once the thermostat's at 75 degrees, or 80 degrees or whatever, it's set. It's usually not going to change unless you have some sort of automatic something. But you guys get where I'm going with this. Let's not complicate this too much, okay? But essentially, a thermometer, you go with the temperature in the room. So somebody's got to temp you, see where you're vibing at so they can raise or lower to meet your vibrations. Or you don't want to have to raise or lower your temperature, your temperament, your energy to meet somebody else. You need to be able to stay in line with who you are and where you're at. And only lower the temp when you feel comfortable, right? That's how a thermometer kind of gets the bad rap in the situation, unfortunately. Now, the thermostat can always go up or down in temperature, but it's controlled. Thermometers are not. Thermometers just go. They're just, you know what I'm saying? You get the little, what is this, like the laser thermometer where you point it off and then it just starts to spit out the different numbers. And if you move it a little bit up, it's going to be a different temperature, up a little different, right? Because it's vibing off of what everybody else is doing or what other connections are doing. When you are a thermostat, though, you set. You're not letting nobody come and penetrate your energy, impede on your energy, or take you away from where you want to be. And that's exactly why being the thermostat in the situation is always going to be a little more beneficial. Be less reactive. That's essentially the key of this message today. It's going to be a short podcast because it's not too much of a crazy message, but I've figured out the importance, heavy importance, of maintaining where I want to be. You know what I mean? And I've had examples set of this in my life. It's just taken me time to understand how it works for me. My mom, I will give a prime example. People see me and they're like, you're always so happy. Meet my mom. She's me times 10. Very bubbly, very loud, even more resilient, even more crazy than I am. I feel as though she set a great example for this. She's always been very unapologetically herself. Didn't really care. If she was happy in a positive mood, she'd tend to try to stay in a positive mood. Now, nobody's perfect. Everybody slips up now and then, right? It happens. But for the most part, my mom is very much her own person. She doesn't let other people try to determine her mood, and she tries to stay happy regardless. And I definitely try to do that as well. My older brother, Cameron, absolutely fantastic example of this as well. If you've ever met Cameron, he's very calm, he's very chill, sanguine, relaxed, just who he is. And he doesn't really let people take him out of his element of that. He maintains his composure in situations so well. And I had a tendency to be that thermometer sometimes where I'm like, what? Hold on. You know, the Aries energy. I'm not going to blame it on the zodiac, but essentially I used to get that little kick and it would flip a switch like this. And I had to definitely learn the importance of me just maintaining my own self at all times and asking myself, is that their energy being projected onto me and now I'm frustrated and I'm responding in the same manner that they're responding? Or am I really that amped up about this? And a lot of times whenever I would sit, I really wasn't all that amped up. I'm just frustrated and I'm allowing somebody else's energy to be projected onto me. I'm taking it on and now I'm acting a damn fool, and that ain't working neither, because two fools ain't solving no problems, right? Because from the distance you don't know who's who. Can't nobody tell what's going on, and that's just the honest truth about it. So my opinion, whenever you're trying to be in situations or you happen to walk into rooms and sometimes people are going to look at you crazy because you are such a happy individual, maintain your happy individual self. Or there's going to be situations where people try to tell you things like, you need to perk up. You're too chill, or you need to perk up. Be you unapologetically. Don't really worry too heavy about how other people are viewing you. You worry about how you feel and you be unapologetically yourself. And I feel like that's always the key message in situations like this, because we get caught up in trying to be what other people feel like we should be or act the way other people feel like we should act. And we really just need to be us, because everybody's not happy all the time and everybody's not sad all the time. And sometimes you just have to understand that people are going through their own sort of stuff and you allow them to feel their feels. Another really interesting example of this that I ran into was a lot of times when people are hurt, something that people will tell them is like, don't cry. Why not? Let that person have their moment to release what they're feeling, and you just be there. If you're choosing to be there to help comfort them or help them feel better, be there in the best way that you can. If you are not a person who's comfortable comforting people who are crying, maybe look up some ways that you can be, because telling people not to cry in their moments of pain is not really helping that person release. It's actually, you're telling them to suppress. So having that person not feel like they have to move their self to be where you are. Just because you're uncomfortable and you want somebody to reach up to you, don't mean that you project that onto them. You allow people to be at their own temperature. You know what I mean? And if that temperature doesn't vibe with you, excuse yourself from the situation. It's cool. Nobody's saying you have to stick in situations or around people who tend to bother you or who bring that out of you. You know what I mean? For me, I think about, you ever go out with a group of friends and there's like, everybody's having a good time, and there's like that one friend who's like pouting, not happy, like pissed off, and you're just like, great. You know what? I don't even worry about that person. If you want to spend your money and be miserable and come out here and sit in a corner, that's not on me. I'm going to enjoy myself. Yes, I will inspire people to get up and have a good time. But if you are just dead determined on being where you're at, I'm going to let you sit in your temperature. I'm having a good time. I'm at 85 degrees. The sun is out. The wind is blowing and I'm vibing. I'm not about to sit up and, you know what I'm saying, change my temperature just to come and link with you because you're sad and you're depressed. I'm just saying, you allow people to be at their own temperature. And you can't be frustrated about that. We have to be a little more understanding. Sometimes that person may be going through things that they're not opening up about, or they could just be a party pooper. I don't know. It's just the way it is, right? Now, with regards to being the thermometer in situation, that can be really, really tough when you are dealing with thermometers, right? Because you will be in one mood and somebody's just racing trying to figure out where to be instead of just being where they're at. You know what I mean? I feel like that causes a lot of anxiety. It's like I had to ask myself, like, was I in a bad mood before I got around this person? Am I allowing this person to impede on the temperature that I set for myself? You know what I mean? Are you allowing people to impede on your energetic vibrations? Because I think I said it in a couple of episodes ago with energy vampires. Oh, that wind is something serious right now. Hey. But I said it a couple of weeks ago in that episode where it's like, if you're vibing up here, a lot of people who are here may not be able to reach you, but they want you to come down to meet them. Don't be the thermostat, or don't be the thermometer. Be the thermostat. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your vibrations. Because if you're happy and you're vibing high and you're good, and when I say that temperature, I mean, think like energetic temperatures. Don't think so literal with like 85 degrees, 75 degrees, etc. There's hot and there's cold, you know what I mean? Vibrations. You get people who are in that low vibrational energy space, and so sometimes you just got to let them stay there. You got to let them be there. You can't sit up and be the thermometer in the situation, and just because they're vibing low, now you got to vibe low. What did Michelle Obama say? When they go low, we go high. That's right. I don't really try to worry too much about where other people's energy is at, because I know where my energy is at. And I want to maintain to be happy, cool, calm, collected. I don't want to allow somebody else to come in, set the tone for me, and now I'm trying to scramble to be where they're at in order to make things work. Sometimes you're not going to vibe with people, right? Sometimes you're not going to vibe in certain situations, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's totally okay. And I just think that that's a lesson that a lot of people should learn. And a great analogy, my brother said, you want to be a thermostat or a thermometer? And I was like, ooh, look at you, coming with all the gems. He's an old wise man, my brother. But I graciously appreciated that analogy because it's so true. Do you want to be reactive or proactive? You be where you're going to be at, and you don't let other people take you down out of where you're trying to be and where you're trying to keep your energy maintained. If you want to maintain being in a positive energetic space, be that. You know what I'm saying? If you're feeling like you vibing low, and when I say vibing low, guys, let me give you an example of vibing low, like a pure example. You go out shopping, for instance. Group of friends, all you guys are having a good time, and you got one friend who's being jealous, nasty, rude the whole time. All of y'all don't stop doing what y'all are doing in a positive light to come meet this low vibrational energy of jealousy, nastiness, rudeness. You have to maintain where you are. Positivity. And even in bad situations, doesn't mean you have to be negative. That's first of all, I want to let y'all know that. Just because I'm speaking on situations that are negative doesn't mean you have to be negative in the situation yourself. You can choose to make more conscientious choices in how you deal with people and how you choose to handle people. There's a nice way to let somebody know that you're not tolerating no BS, right? There's also a very aggressive way, very low vibrational way if you were to like literally go fight somebody. Now, by all means, defend yourself. That's not what I'm speaking on, but y'all know what I mean. Just to while out and act a fool for no reason, or in a situation that could be handled slightly different. You always have to know your energy and be comfortable with that. Now, if you're comfortable with doing that, that's on you. Again, I let other people do what they're going to do. I vibe how I vibe. And for me, high vibrational is not getting involved in that kind of stuff, because that kind of stuff stresses me out. As a person, it stresses me out. And I choose to try to find ways to, be in positive manners, positive light, happiness, resilience. That's just who I am. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be frustrated. I don't. I do take my time when I am upset and I am frustrated. And I've learned very quickly to excuse myself and handle myself, or I know how to handle myself or let that out in so many ways that are more healthy. You know what I mean? Definitely working out helps me a lot, because I get to channel all that aggressiveness outward on my workouts. But when it comes to people, if you work in customer service like I do, you definitely know that there will be people that push your buttons. It happens. And working in a job like that, you most definitely learn how to be the tone setter and not the person trying to move to the beat of other people. You know what I'm saying? You most definitely have to learn how to do that. And a lot of times it makes people respect you a lot more when you don't go and stoop to their level. It makes people be like, dang, they not even, reacting to none of the blows I'm throwing at them. They way up here. Yeah, you missing me with that. You punching all down here. I'm way up here. I'm not even getting, it's nothing but air in between us. I'm not even feeling that, because I don't accept that. I recognize that is their energy. That is something going on with them. That has nothing to do with me. And I'm not going to take that on as part of my energy for the day. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to maintain myself. And I will let them know very politely in my own way that I'm not going to be dealing with that. You know what I mean? So this is the topic. We're at about, 17 minutes almost. I'm just going to let you guys take it from here. But are you being a thermostat in your life? Are you being a thermometer in your life? Where are you? Where are your kids? Where's your husband? Where's your friends at? Your friend group? You know what I'm saying? Do you allow these type of situations to bother you to the point where you are all over the place with your emotions? Or have you learned to hold your emotions where they're at and not really worry too heavy about what the people around you are doing or being? I have another topic next week that will tie into this just a tinge. So I'm going to wait till next week to really bring this story up to you guys. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This sun is really beaming, but my skin, it's looking so fresh and so good. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, follow the links below for all of my services, all of my social contacts. Everything is there. Subscribe, like the video, share, because we want to get me out here so I can get more subscribers and more views to get all this lovely information out to the public, okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another week of the Eyes Wide Open podcast, and I will see you next time. Bye.